Hello, I'm Victor Vogel. I'd like to take a moment and take you on a tour through my Substack. Now, this Substack is a little different than most other Substacks that you're going to run into, I hope anyway. This one's designed to help you. It's designed to help you improve how you communicate with other people. So, my objective with this Substack is clear. It's just to help you improve your communication, how to connect with others, and through that connection, develop a relationship that is trusting and acceptable and understanding. And I think there's so much of that we're missing today in society. So that's what this Substack is all about. So let me just kind of take you through this a little bit. Now, my Substack's going to be a lot like all the other Substacks. It's going to begin with a chance for anybody to get in there and read through some of this information that we tend to go through when we go through a Substack. Now, what's interesting about Substacks is you can offer people certain things that they won't see as they read down. So, yes, I'll be making comments, and yes, I'll be posting some information. The Substack allows us an opportunity for people to engage with me and what I'm presenting, and to engage with each other, because there's so much more we offer that Substacks allows us to do that provides a connectivity through technology. And it begins with the newsletter, and the newsletter is pretty simple. It has a topic area to it we cover, and we normally cover what's going on with it, what the issues are. We discuss the role that interpersonal communication has in that. We discuss the impact that the particular topic is having on your organization, society, whatever we're talking about. And then we talk a little bit about the problems that may be evolving because of that. And then we give you 3 solutions, communications-based solutions out of the interpersonal communication realm, that if you apply these would minimize your issues or problems. And then we kind of summarize all of that information. So that newsletter is the basis of everything that we're doing to begin with. And in the basic subscriber, which is a free program, you get, I think, the latest 2, the 2 most recent versions. You have an opportunity to read and review as a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you won't see those, but if you subscribe, you'll see those. And of course, you can interact with me to some extent. You get an opportunity to have a conversation with me on a video conferencing segment about the topic, something you have a question about, something you're interested in, something you think you want to bounce off of, something off of someone, and I happen to be the someone. So those are the kinds of things that are available. And then I also provide a free book that's an example of the workbooks that I use to help people not just understand in the textbooks I've written in this area, but to apply them effectively and day in and day out, exercises so you can learn how to communicate effectively, because there's a learning component to this. It's not just reading something and think you're going to be able to do it. I don't know of many things out there that you can do that with anyway. But what this does with the workbook, and it allows you to begin to work through some of the exercises. So we'll cover the books in a second because I'm holding those for a reason. I'll show you in a little bit. So that's what you get as a basic subscriber to my program, to the Substack. And so there's plenty of opportunity to engage and learn from that. But what happens when you become a paid subscriber is you get access to all of these newsletters, all the archives of all the newsletters we've done to whatever date you enroll in. So you can go back and read through all these various newsletters, and you're going to begin to exponentially increase your knowledge about interpersonal communication and where it can be used and how it can be used effectively in this particular. And what you wouldn't understand, for example, if we go back to this particular newsletter here, okay, we saw that newsletter was, let's see, it's about the silent culture of inconsistencies. It's about inconsistencies, okay? So what you don't understand here is there are 8 other newsletters in front of this around a topic area that this is part of, which is a series that's based on the 10 pain points that leaders say they have. The top 10 pain points that bother leaders, that disrupt their ability to be effective in organizations or have effective relationships with their people. So we have covered the 10 most important pain points that leaders say that frustrate them. We've covered those by saying what they are, talking about how they impact you, and then providing examples of how you can correct those. So there's, at the end of this series, starting this coming week, it'll be the last one of the series, there are 10 newsletters. Sign up as a paid Substack person. You become an automatic member of this Google group. And the reason I did that is because I have a series of books I have written that I use as textbooks when I consult or when I'm doing educational programs. And you can see these here. And what I have done is I've set it up inside Google and my workspace where I've created a library. And what happens is when you become a paid Substack member, you have access to all the books I've written, and you can read those books, all of them if you want. You can read them as much as you want, or you can also use them as references. So, for example, this one here is about leadership paradigm change and what I feel like we need to do with leadership for leaders of the future and how to do it, and talks about organizations and what organizations need to do and change about how they identify, select, and place leaders in their organization, and some of the dynamics that are necessary for those leaders to possess in order to be Renaissance leaders. Over here, this book is part of my 17-week leadership course that I conduct. It's a self-directed, kind of a semi-self-directed, but you have access to me, kind of like a professor. You'd have access to a professor, and you can schedule a meeting and discuss what's going on, ask questions, whatever. I can make sure you're going down the right path, keeping up with your studies and what you should be doing so that you complete your course by the end of the 17 weeks. But this book is designed to be part of that. But you'll have access to read that book without taking the course if you want. Here is a book on nonverbal communication, and here's one called Navigating Conversations, where I talk about where emotional intelligence intersects with communication processes. And this is a very, very important book. It's a very dynamic book that talks all about the role the communication plays in emotional intelligence and vice versa, and the importance of being able to integrate the two effectively makes for the interpersonal communication experience you can have. And then, of course, here is one that talks about, there are about 12 leadership roles that leaders tend to use day in and day out. This talks about the communication processes and the different ones you use for different leadership skill sets that you apply. For example, you use a different approach communication-wise if you're doing a performance review than if you're having you're resolving a conflict. So this kind of touches on how to align the right communication process with the right leadership skill. They're pretty interesting books. And then I have some others that I just wrote that are part of research projects I've done on the side. This one has to do with what we need to be doing in the future when we select and hire and place people in an organization, particularly leadership. This one actually came out of a project where I was working with a lady on helping her improve her image and potentially building her resume towards executive leadership. And I did some research to help her understand what she was I how to approach that from a communication perspective. And this one, when I got all the data together, I decided it made sense to maybe turn it into a mini book. And this is an ebook. All my books are ebooks, by the way, but this one is called The Paradox of Competence, Systemic Barriers, Emotional Intelligence, the Underrepresentation of Women in U.S. Leadership. This explains why women are biased, or why there's so much bias against women, what's going on, what that bias is, etc. It's a pretty detailed kind of nerdy report, but it's got a lot of accurate information. If you're a woman and you're thinking about being in business and leading, and I'd say you find that very interesting. And then, of course, what you're looking at is where people buy my books from. This is the store. So I have some, if you don't become a paid subscriber, you can buy these, and you can buy them with bulk discounts. This one right here happens to give a 50% discount. But what's interesting about these books, and the reason I wrote them as ebooks, for example, if we come in and take a look at this book, you could come in here and kind of take a look at the book if you want to. You can preview the book in this area, and so that you can go in here and read a little bit in it and see what's going on and what we're looking at doing in chapters and things like that. So those are all part of that library, if you will, that you're going to have access to when you have a paid subscription. When you cancel that paid subscription, that all goes away. You won't have access to them. You won't be able to read them at your will. Why is it important to just be able to read them, but have them with you? Is if you run into a situation where you're out in, let's say you're in Europe and you've got a conflict situation. It's going to be a very difficult discussion you have with somebody, and you kind of, it's been a while since you've done that, so you can go into the navigating conversations to the chapter on difficult discussions, and it'll give you the outline of what you need to be doing to prep for that discussion. Part of that is understanding the essence emotionally where you are and where the other person's going to be, and particularly at the time you're going to have the discussion. So how to regulate that discussion so you can get this person where you want them to be. You have to know a little bit about the nonverbal communication, and you may not have remembered a lot about nonverbal communication, or you may not know enough about it. You may not know anything about it. You can go in here and associate the parts that this emotional intelligence refers to, knowing yourself, knowing where you are, but being able to read where another person is coming from based on their behaviors, without them saying anything. You're going to be able to understand sort of where they're coming from, and that comes from the nonverbal communication role. Part of what you'll get in some of these series and some of the videos you'll see, as I said, let's go take a look here and see if we can take a look at my channel here. Okay, in this channel here, you have uh, all my videos. There's 300 and some odd videos. Many of them you can see for free. If you go to the playlist and you sort out the playlist on Substack, just to
I have a problem with.
give you an idea here where some of these are here. These are some of the videos we've done so far. Now, these were available to you if you're paid, but if you're not a paid subscriber, nobody's going to be able to see these down the road unless I put them into a massive series, sort of an individual educational format. I'm holding these out for that reason. There's a possibility I could put the 10 newsletters together as a book, enhance that a little bit, come in and edit all these videos down and have them become parts of certain segments of, say, a 10-point part on how to minimize pain as the pain points of leadership. So that's a whole book and a whole new series I could develop out of that. But that's all available here inside of this Substack. In addition, you have the group that we're talking about, which is going to give you more networking potential down the road, depending who's there. So these are all things that are part of the paid program that we have. What I am going to do is just wanted to take you through a brief tour of this. You can get on there and find out about it. If you decide to sign up, you'll get some notes. If you ever have any trouble signing up, you don't have to worry about it. You can just contact me directly and I'll get you into anything that's not working. I'm pretty much managing this myself. So in addition to that, I just completed, for example, all the new stuff that comes will also be free to you. Like if I did that book into a series of educational programs, those programs will be discounted, so you would receive a discount on that. Over here on my, let me go to my website here. Take you back to that a second. On my website here, there's a calendar of events where you can contact me. If you just go in here and click on here, it'll give you all the dates and everything that you need. You can schedule an appointment just to chat. Those are free. I don't charge for those. Or I use those sometimes. This is how I set up my appointments for consulting also. So I just wanted you to have some insight to some of the things that are there, the newsletter, the tutorial videos, the Google group where we're going to be doing, building that out and turning it into whatever we can do to make it more beneficial down the road. You have the library that you have access to. You can take those books are available to you to use anytime you need to look at them as reference books as well. And you have, of course, the opportunity to schedule appointments with me at discounted rates for consultancy. It's 50% on any consulting I do with you. There's a 50% discount rate. That's pretty significant considering you're not going to be paying $300. So you know what 50% of 300 is. It also provides you the opportunity to have the same discounts on those courses. I think the course I wanted to show you was on the website that I wanted to go to. There we go. Okay, so on this on the website is also. I thought I'd take you back and just show you that for a second. Outside of the books, I also have that 17-week course that I do on the website. and you can go in and see what that course is as we go to that. It's called the Renaissance Communication Leadership Odyssey course. There's an application right on there that you can go to. This is the syllabus for that course. The syllabus basically being what's involved in the course. So you can go down here and it tells you about the course, a course overview. It gives you the various segments. There's the foundation of Renaissance leadership and what's involved in that. There's 4 tiers to this: the interpersonal communication mastery tier, the core principles, communication filters and biases, emotional intelligence, integration, nonverbal. Tier 3 is scenario-based conflict and difficult discussions, collaborative team facilitation, coaching, mentoring, cross-departmental negotiations, strategic messaging to executives, etc. This is all on this course. So you can see those courses. I would say to you on this program, you can take that individually. I can take it in terms of teams of 6, and I offer some discounts if you pull together a team of 6. It has to be at least 6 people. I think I probably 4 people at a minimum and 6 at a maximum. And then you can also come to me as an organization if you want to run this throughout your organization, run it in your marketing department, your finance department, operations department, whatever departments however deep you want to take this, we can negotiate pricing and structuring. That's actually almost a full cultural change process, and those all come in the process with it. So that's all potentially available down the road. So those are all the things that you have potential to have some impact if you are in the paid subscription area. There's a lot of information, a lot of tremendous amounts of education. It's almost a master's level course on leadership communication. There's just a lot we're going to be doing with the Substack. Hopefully, a lot we're going to be doing with the RCLO leadership course in the future. The library is accessible to you. Being part of the Google group, hopefully we'll use that as a networking opportunity, as well as some opportunities to touch base with professionals in the field that have worked in the field for a long time. Something I want to say about this particular Substack is I'm not trying to get large groups. So I get a lot of people emailing me or direct mailing me on LinkedIn and other places wanting to build my Substack group into the thousands. I don't want to do that. That's not where I'm going. At max, I could probably, I think, manage to do all the things I want to do for you if I had somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 people max in this group. So I will probably put a cap somewhere on this where I don't go over 200 subscribers, whether they're paid or a combination of paid subscribers, or I might have 200 subscribers and I could have more regular subscribers because I'm really not having to do too much with a free subscriber. But on the paid subscriber list, I'm probably not going to go much over 200 people. And I maybe even do less than that down the road. So again, this is not a podcast. It is not giving you the latest, flashiest things out there. It's not designed to tickle your mind or make you feel good or laugh or things like that. Although, I mean, you may get some of that in it, I don't know. But it is designed to help you become more effective at communication. This is a Substack that I'm trying to keep relatively clear of language and any inferences of anything that's wrong or bad, because I would encourage parents to sign up on paid programs themselves, maybe become part of that group, and maybe have you, if you have three teenagers, or you, your spouse, and your teenagers, or if there's a group of you who parents who want to engage teenagers. These are the kinds of programs that kids, when they graduate from high school, are going to have a competitive edge if they can communicate effectively. And it's good also if you're going into college. It's going to help you connect with professors more effectively and adapt to different friendships and different lifestyles, etc., as you enter into your college years. And certainly when you come out of there, you take as much as you can in college in this also. When you come out of there with that, you're going to have a definite competitive edge going into leadership, into business, etc. So those are also some things we can do in that area. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave this with you. If you decide something you're interested in, I just want you to know it's a little different and it's out there, and you may browse by it and you may not. I don't know. But this will be on my post, so you'll see this on the basic Substack stuff that's free to everybody.